The next part of managing a sales organization is managing revenue composition. And revenue composition is the additive components that equal the total revenue that you're getting over a period of time. When I talk about managing revenue, it's how do you decide what revenue to pay salespeople on versus what revenue might you not pay salespeople on. There's a natural tendency to say, we're going to pay our salespeople on all our revenue. You probably don't want to do that, and I'll explain why. In many SaaS businesses, there's total contract value, and then there's annual contract value, and then there's annual recurring revenue. So these are all different metrics that one can apply. And what we want to do is make sure that we're normalizing how we pay our sales force to how the revenue actually comes in and how we're reporting it. And we should be paying our salespeople on annual revenue and reporting on annual revenue as opposed to total contract value. So let's say here, this might be total revenue, okay? In a company, and we report this, it may be A expressed as ARR, annual recurring revenue. And annual recurring revenue has a couple of components to it. It's got new business, it's got upgrade business, and it's got repeat business. These are all the customers who, let's say they have a 2-year contract, they would renew later on. And then there's a little bit of a negative, which is called churn. And churn is what happens when a company does not renew their repeat business. So the revenue really looks like this. It's total revenue minus churn. Now, when I think about managing revenue composition, what we should be paying our sales force on are these two numbers down here, which are new business and upgrade business. And typically, these are the smaller parts of the overall revenue composition. So of a $10 million ARR, maybe in a year, a couple of $1 million may be new and upgrade, but this is from previous year's business. And so what I want to do is incent our sales force to go get new business, not just rest on the laurels of the past and just sit on the revenue that's expected to come in, because that sort of defeats the productivity of the sales organization. The growth in a company is completely based on these two numbers here. If all you did was this with churn, you'd have a declining ARR over time. So increasing ARR is a function of new business and upgrade business. This is where you need to pay the salespeople, right here. So I would pay commission here on this. The repeat business I might put into a group, a service group, where I would service this revenue. But I can service it very inexpensively. I may have a customer success group that talks with these customers, and it's a very low cost, relatively low cost relative to the amount of revenue. Imagine if I paid commissions on all of this, I'd get very little benefit on the things that matter, but I'd pay out a lot of commission. And then on churn, I would inspect the churn to get an idea of what's happening and, can we do anything to get customers to increase their likelihood of repeat contracts when their contract period comes up. So this is how I would think about revenue. This is where you pay, this is where you service, and this is what you inspect.